Welcome to FemFlex Friday. I'm here with my amazing co-hosts. We have Camille, Whitney, and Linda Murray herself. Today we're going to be exploring the intersection of artificial intelligence and the world of bodybuilding, fitness, and beyond. In this show, we're going to be discussing what exactly artificial intelligence is and how it will affect us, the pros and cons of AI, and what we can do to counter the negative effects of AI. We're going to be talking to your favorite industry experts and top athletes to get their perspectives on the subject. So what do you think, ladies? This is going to be so fascinating. But before we continue, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share this video. It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah. You said artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
Like, what the heck? What is this new thing now?
Yeah. It is hot right now. Before we get started, let's just take a look at this clip that it does a really good job of explaining what artificial intelligence is.
What exactly is AI and why are you hearing about it everywhere? I used to work at Google, so let me break it down for you. Artificial intelligence is not actual intelligence. It just means that a really intelligent human has programmed a computer with a really long list of directions for what to do. For a computer to play chess using AI, it doesn't actually know how chess works. It's just been given a long list of directions, the rules of chess, and what it can do in every possible situation. The advantage that computers have over humans is they can hold a lot more data in their brains than we can. But that doesn't make AI smart, just really good at following direction. Now, machine learning, or ML, works a bit differently. Rather than teaching a computer to play chess by programming in all the rules, instead you teach it to play chess by letting it watch millions of different chess games. And it sucks up all that data and from that draws its own conclusions about how chess is played. This is how humans learn language. We don't read babies the dictionary, we talk around them and read around them. That's what makes machine learning so cool. The machine is actually learning something, but only based on the data that humans give it, which is why just because something's decided by an algorithm, it does not mean it's not biased. So when you hear people throwing around words like AI or ML, it doesn't mean the machines are taking over. It just means that really intelligent humans have trained machines to augment what we know about the world and what we can accomplish.
Right.
So this applies to bodybuilding and fitness.
Yes. Okay. So this is
everything. I'm kind of to be honest, my mind's kind of just like vacuum cleaner, like everything.
Right. Well, if you think about it, okay. So I kind of got AI and ML a little bit confused because I think people automatically assume that artificial intelligence is machine learning, and there are programs that are coming out that are going to help all of us in all different fields figure out what we can do based off of this next level technology. So let's go down the line. If you because we're going to I'm going to show you guys some of the things that the machine learning tools have been able to do. But before we dive into that, let's go around the circle. Based off of what you know about artificial intelligence and machine learning, how would you apply this to what you do in your fitness career? Where do I even start, right?
Yeah. For me, I would like to learn how to use AI to work for my business, maybe for like marketing or things like that. That would be a lot easier to have artificial intelligence do that versus
like a personal assistant.
Yeah. I want a clone. I've said it. I've asked for it on my Christmas list every year. It's not happening.
So actually take a seat and rest a little bit.
At least someone to sleep a little bit more. But honestly, I would love for someone to get up and do my fasted cardio. I need that robot. When is that program coming out? Who can do my diet and not eat as much sugar? So I'm more focused on unrealistic, and you're more reality.
You know what's funny? I just had. Remember that movie Multiplicity with?
Oh yeah.
Michael Keaton. I'm just picturing like all these cloned Whitneys, and then the more cloned they get, like there's like the really smart one, and they kind of get like lose their.
Well, this crazy woman, we don't need multiples of me.
Your whoop is kind of like machine learning because as you continue to do your routine, it's learning your body, and then it's able to prescribe things to you. So it's a form of machine learning.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes sense to have something where with your diet, like making up your diet or like knowing.
Yeah, that knows what you like.
Knows, yeah. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I think for me, I would definitely, people keep saying, write a book, write a book. So are you telling me that I could, for example, with all that information out there in the universe, that it knows about me, that it can put a book together for me?
It can.
What?
It can.
That would be great.
We're already there.
We are already there. You guys are going to be blown away. This is insane. Okay, you guys have probably heard of Michio Kaku. He's an American theoretical physicist, futurist, and a popularizer of science. I always like to hear his insight on predictions that he has for futuristic things. He was big on when the singularity came out, transcendence, and everything like that. So I just want to watch this clip from him and then tell me what you guys think.
Artificial intelligence will give us the key to genetic immortality. You see, in the coming decades, everyone's going to have their gene sequenced. We'll have billions of genomes of old people, billions of genomes of young people. And what are we going to do with it? We're going to run it through an AI machine, which has pattern recognition, to look for the age genes. In other words, the fountain of youth that emperors, kings, and queens lusted over, the fountain of youth will be found by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will identify where these age genes are located. First of all, what is aging? We now know what aging is. Aging is the buildup of errors.
The buildup of errors.
That's all aging is. The buildup of genetic errors. This means that cells eventually become slower, sluggish, they go into senescence, and they die. In fact, that's why we die.
Not to get morbid.
But you see, in the future, we'll be able to fix those genes with CRISPR-type technologies and perhaps even live forever.
If you yourself could become immortal, would you?
Damn straight.
He hesitated.
Now, I personally believe, and I cannot prove this, but I personally believe that our grandkids may have the option of reaching the age of 30 and then stopping.
Wow.
They may like being
so scary.
age 30 because you have wisdom, you have all the benefits of age and maturity, and you still live forever with a healthy body. Our descendants may like being 30 for several centuries.
Wow.
Okay,
I love it.
Okay, go for it, Camille.
you know what? But instantly that concerns me, and this is the reason.
Yeah.
I was reading. It was like a news article I was reading, or actually, I think it was a piece on CNN.
Yeah.
And you can have your thoughts about CNN, but it was talking about how like 50% of the glaciers are going to be melted by the end of this century. And I was thinking about them, like, you know, what are the implications? I probably will not be around to see that. My daughter will be, her grandchildren will be feeling the effects of that. So if they're him talking about, you know, stopping the aging process at age 30 and living for a couple of centuries, like, I feel like we're already ruining our planet so quickly, and that really concerns me.
That is a
How do you
concern.
ever? Yeah, that's odd.
And then, but the interesting thing, yesterday I heard a piece, I forgot the actual statistics of how much of the human population is decreasing, but we're also not growing, like our population's not growing as fast as it used to. It's actually at a decline. But still, it concerns
That's going to
me.
stop.
Well, so the question is the idea of artificial intelligence and machine learning, is it something that we are creating and developing to solve a problem, or based off of our narcissistic desires to want to live forever? Are we out for the greater good, or are we out for ourselves? And it's a really interesting thing to think about, because it's kind of scary to think about, you know, not living forever. You know, we think, oh my gosh, the idea of living forever is so exciting, you know what I mean? But there's also a lot of ideas that maybe if we do end up finding ways to use this technology to live forever, we may be able to discover ways to decrease our footprint. So what do you think, Linda? I can tell your wheels are spinning.
I think like it's so cool because I get to see like this generation now and from my past, and there are things like now, for example, with us and artificial, that with us we know how to work out, we know how to manipulate our carbs and waistlines and all that, and they come up with this artificial way of like, hey, let's just take nip and tuck and remove some of the, you know, fat in your midsection. And I started to really think like, gosh, you know, it's getting a little bit harder, and I've been an advocate for training, exercise, diet, nutrition, but I was starting to feel a little bit like, hey, you know, this artificial thing's kind of sounding good to me because I'm already limiting my calories and so maybe I might do a little nipping and tucking. And I think when it comes to artificial intelligence, and now what it's doing, like what I was saying, writing a book or things are moving so fast.
We're going to talk about that too.
It's almost like we really do need some assistance to keep up, but I'm not for something just taking over.
But the universe is all different. Like, we are all different people. So if we all had the option to stop aging at 30, we'd probably all look the same to some extent. We get to choose what our measurements are, what color hair we have.
Can you imagine a world like that?
No, we'd all be a bunch of robots all looking the same, maybe a few things
But
different.
if you could live forever, Whitney, would you?
In what state, 30 or now? Because I've broken a lot of things. I'm worried about living forever. I don't know about that.
I wouldn't want to live forever.
Not at this state. No.
I agree.
You just be like, you would just be like a slave to working.
Yeah.
You would just be working.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just say, like, can we just like maybe find a cure for cancer first?
Yes. Right. I know.
Like,
That would be great.
You know, that is okay. I'm gonna just backtrack to like the narcissistic desires really fast. Okay, I think this is something that I've thought of. Maybe this is a little bit morbid. Okay, but just work with me here, ladies. I was thinking, you know, like I used to work at a senior living center. I was a wellness director at a senior living center a long, long time ago. And I remember sitting with the residents and looking through their little photo albums and stuff like that, and just thinking about how awesome all their memories were and everything. And now, if you go to somebody's Instagram, for example, or some social media, you see all kinds of filtered photos and blurry images, and it's not what they actually look like. And when we like leave this earth, what are we leaving behind? Because what I'm noticing is people are changing the way that they look and the way that you almost don't know, you know, someone's memory being left behind. This sounds kind of morbid, but I just feel like, how do you think that's going to pan out? You know, because of all these doctored images and photoshopping and everything like that, people are almost recreating who they are, and then when they leave, we're not really sure how to remember them.
Well, I think if we went to a realm where we're changing our appearance, I mean, we're already doing that.
Right.
Yes.
But at that point, there's going to be a flip where the people who are unique and maybe have more unique characteristics to their true self, that will be the new beauty because everyone else will look the same.
I think so too.
I don't know.
We're making a full circle back to natural look.
Totally.
Have you guys seen a movie, like an old movie from the 80s and the 90s where, you know, people had a certain look? I just finished watching Chippendale's show.
Oh, did you? Did you now?
I was watching the story is nuts, right? And I was looking at all this footage from the 80s and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like people look so natural.
Yeah, I know, right?
And now we're all just evolving. So all of us, I mean, we're just.
The Kardashians did a number on the society. Everyone's like striving for that.
I know.
They're all natural though.
That's right. I forgot.
Well, you know, we're going to continue. There are some more crazy things that I want to share with you ladies and hear your thoughts. And before we do, we're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back and get your thoughts too on all this crazy stuff.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else. Every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on Trifecta.
Welcome back to FemFlux Friday. I'm here with my ladies, and I want to ask you guys, have you heard of the hottest new thing called ChatGPT?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, before we actually start talking about it, let's watch this quick video going over it.
We just had one of the biggest upgrades in artificial intelligence history, and the internet is freaking out. This is ChatGPT, a new language model from OpenAI that has been described as scary good and could be the Google killer. This AI is fluent in every speaking and programming language, and it can write poems, essays, code programs, and even debate with you. So how is this going to benefit you? Well, its users have already had it create a complete SEO content strategy for their website, explain in depth the history of modern physics for 20 minutes, found all of the bugs in a line of code and then fixed them, written complete scripts for TV, presentations, and content, and even designed a multiple choice Harry Potter video game quest. You can even do things like ask ChatGPT to redesign a room for you, place its answers into its cousin program Dolly, and have a complete rendering made up for you. This is all free for you to use, and it even helped me write the script for this video. And while it might have some people scared that the technological singularity is closer than ever, don't worry, ChatGPT says an AI takeover is unlikely. That is all for this video, but as always, if this interested you and you want to see more like it, I'd really appreciate it if you followed along. Thank you.
That went right over my head.
Yeah, and he's talking so fast, it's like, yes, I definitely do need artificial intelligence to help me because everybody's talking and moving so fast.
Okay, this thing is so crazy. My intro, I wrote it with ChatGPT. I asked it to write an intro, and I gave it the specific things I wanted it to say, and it popped it out.
What?
Awesome.
I asked it, I wanted to do an email for my email group. I wanted to write about Santa Claus making a transformation for the holidays, and myself and my husband helping Santa Claus make this transformation. And it wrote the whole thing, and then I said, write the same story but in a 3rd grade level, and it rewrote it, popped it out. This thing is so crazy. So if you think from a bodybuilding perspective, this is where, you know, online coaching and stuff might become, we're gonna have to make ourselves stand out in other ways, because you could ask this thing to write you a bodybuilding program focusing on building back depth, and it will do it. If you want to write a book, it will write a book for you. I mean, this thing is going to take over.
Okay.
So, here comes Camille. Yes. Go for it.
Sorry, I sometimes I feel like I'm like relevant with like modern events and stuff, and stuff like technology, but I don't know how this completely went by me. So he talked so fast, I'm a little confused. So you're saying that you use this to create part of this episode and to outline it for you. We do that, guys.
Yes.
How did you do that? Like, how much did it cost? What is it?
Free.
Is it an app you download? It's free.
And I don't know how long it's going to be free, but it's free right now. I'm thinking they're going to make it continue to be free because they're talking about letting it be used in schools, letting kids use it. And you would think, okay, this
they would write the whole paper for your kid.
I remember when the internet came out, though, and everybody thought the internet was going to cause everyone to cheat. But what it does is if you give people more tools, they will have more free space to utilize their creativity. And it's not a free ride. You have to ask it pointed things, you know. I wanted to know.
I don't know.
What are your thoughts? Okay, go for it. Go for it.
Well, think about it. Artificial intelligence is replacing human intelligence. So you give someone an easy out. Everyone wants instant gratification. No one wants to work hard. We talk about our youth coming up. My gosh, if I was in school, I'll admit, I'd be like, oh, I'd rather go out and hang with my friends than write an essay and do research. Chat GPT, done.
So do you guys know your parents' cell phone numbers by heart?
No.
See?
But that you have to memorize everything. I think it's totally making people more and more lazy. And granted, it would be nice if it made your time more efficient. But people aren't utilizing that for the right thing. Like you look at kids. Oh, now more time to play video games.
Okay, the pushback I'll have is I'm a creative thinker, right? It's hard for me to sit down and like put work. I have a twin sister who is able to focus. She's a lawyer. She can retain lots of information and she can focus for long periods of time. I'm the opposite. I'm a floater. I'm a free thinker. I'm a creative person. I always have a million ideas, and then sitting down and actually like putting these ideas on paper is really hard for me. So this actually allowed me to really expand my creative juices. I have all these.
You're a hard worker though, and that's where that was instilled.
Maybe.
Are we replacing that?
So, like in the case of what you were saying, like for example, with Santa Claus, okay? We're all trainers and we have clients, and let's say you're putting together a diet plan. Like, how are we to assume that because Santa Claus is overweight, that Santa Claus wants to lose weight. Maybe Santa Claus, just he's a little depressed. He's delivered a lot of packages. There's a whole lot of other things involved in that.
Yeah.
So to do a cookie cutter workout plan for him would be maybe on the side of being a little bit dangerous.
Have
or
Christmas
irresponsible.
5 times a year versus 1 time a year.
Now I like
and
that.
then he'll be working out a lot more.
Right. So how do they put into, you know what I mean, like the human, can we give all that information? Can we go in and say, okay, maybe he just wants to
Does it pull
feel
from
better?
the internet? So when you did these examples.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons why it's free, because it's AI, but it's pre-programmed with information, but then it's also machine learning.
Yeah.
So the more people use it, the smarter it gets.
So we're beta testing.
We are
totally. Yeah.
Yes, and so the more that you're asking it questions, it's figuring things out as it goes, and that's why it's taking off so rapidly. So whether we like it or not, this is taking off.
Now, did you test it with fitness programs to see if you did a back day? So how accurate was it compared to maybe what you would send to a client?
So accurate.
Really?
Oh my God.
Really?
Okay, so that's a game changer.
Such a
That
game
is really a
changer.
big
But
game
if you,
changer.
I know, and it seems like it would be cheating, but honestly, it allowed me to be creative. Because it's hard for me. I know, like some people, they're able to, taskmasters, they're able to, but that's always been a struggle for me. So this has particularly been a really awesome tool for me. I just discovered this when I started researching for this, and all of a sudden I'm going, okay. And you watch a lot of the crypto channels and stuff, and they're talking about this a lot too. So I thought, oh my goodness, we have got to learn more about this.
So, so when you created this outline, back to your process, did you just plug in keywords, or how did you feed it in for how was that process?
Right. I said write me a script for an intro for a talk show that I'm doing with 4 ladies talking about artificial intelligence and the bodybuilding world.
That's all you said?
Yeah.
And wow. Okay. Interesting. Wow. So we're going to be replayed now.
and then it popped it out, and then of course I changed a couple little things, which is easier when it's already on paper, and that's the case for so many projects that I have. I want just something on paper that I can mess with,
that you can then modify,
and then you can go from there. But I don't know. I mean, I know people are going to have mixed feelings about this. You're going to have people kicking and screaming all the way.
I like the idea of it helping. I think if growing up and having our youth already have these shortcuts, because think about it, we could all use some more time. We know that. We talk about how busy we are.
Right.
But we also are hard workers. We have that work ethic instilled in us that we're not afraid. But if we have a shortcut one day to have some help, that's why we have so many assistants.
It feels like a shortcut to us though, because we're coming at it from a perspective of we've been doing the hard work. I remember when I was in grad school, and I remember going to the library and looking up a periodical and going up and down the aisles, and there was this excitement to this novelty that I actually kind of miss. I go up and down the aisles looking for the periodical that I was trying to use for my research, and I'll never forget that. And as soon as we were able to start using the internet to search for periodicals, it made my life easier. And I remember thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So something that's going to assist us, we're thinking of it from the perspective of, well, we're working so hard right now, that's going to make it cheating. But just imagine how much more we're going to expand in ways we haven't even dove into. We haven't even been able to wrap our head around some of the things.
I'm just think over here thinking.
You're going to be, you'd be surprised at how much you could do, how much more you could do that you don't realize it maybe is holding you back.
And is it an app? I mean, I've never explored
I'm going to download it right now.
You don't even have to download it. You go. I think you do have to create an account, but it's free.
Just go
it's
online.
Just OpenAI, Chat GPT, boom, and you just start asking it questions.
So when you get the feedback, or when you get the product that it's created for you, what kind of format is it in?
Any format you want. You
so
could
you
ask
can say
it
PDF or Word doc.
Oh
or
no,
CSV.
not that. But you can ask it to write in 3rd grade level. You can ask it to write in old.
So is it like
old
a Word
English
doc?
style? You could ask it.
How do you capture the information?
Cut and paste.
Okay.
You can cut and paste, and you might have to add bullets and stuff. You know, it's not perfect, but yeah.
That part of like saying like you could like please do it in 3rd grade. So when you were talking about like kids cheating and them not having to work and they're writing a paper, or whether you're in college or whatever level, like I would think hopefully artificial intelligence can step in so the teachers can say, tell me, artificial intelligence, is this paper, was it written by artificial intelligence?
Yes. Or do not let any of these kids in my class. The teacher, you're right, the teachers could do it to their advantage.
It's going to be something to combat, you know.
Interesting.
So let's talk about the pros and the cons. I mean, we're just like what we're talking about right now. There are a lot of pros that we can think of. So let's watch this short clip and see a little bit more.
Another day, another design resource series. Today we're going to be talking about, first up we have DALL-E. We're starting with this first, as it's actually the tool that we use in our latest branding project for Isodo. Ever wondered what a cowboy on the moon would look like? Or dreamt of a gorilla dressed as a mobster? Get ready to bring your wildest dreams to life in seconds. Next we have Ensign Sound. With this you can create your own hybrid sounds and instruments. There are tons of AI makers like this. You can also check out MuseNet, AI Duet, or Magenta Studio. So next we have AutoDraw. AutoDraw turns crude line drawings into illustrated iconography. It's kind of like playing Pictionary, but with a robot. Except when you yell at them for not guessing things right, they don't cry. Next up, we have Runway ML, which has magical AI tools, real-time collaboration, precision editing, and much more. This is your next generation video creation suite. Next, Vance AI.
You guys, our
you
kids
can
are
stop
already using
counting the
this stuff.
DPI in your images because Vance AI enhances all those crunchy photos from your client into crystal clear visuals. Crystal clear, crystal clear, crystal clear. Next, we have Deflamo. Similar to DALL-E, this AI tool creates images based on text inputs, so you can visualize even your wildest thoughts and dreams. Yes, even that one. Next up, we have Rosebud AI. It does a variety of AI tricks, but I think this one is quite cool. It brings all these portraits to life with AI magic. Lastly, this person does not exist.
Instagram.
I think so.
The strip back AI tool that spawns images of photorealistic faces with every page refresh. This person does not exist is where all those random people from your dreams
And I think
live.
that girl is not a real
that guy
person.
That sort of looks like her ex that you saw
She's
do one time.
She's an artificial intelligence created.
It looks like an artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is just, I feel like we need a lesson on how to figure out what's truth and what's not. Like, what is reality?
So could it remake me? Like, for example, like now I have all these things, all these tools, like we got YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and I can't keep up. And
I know.
Like, can you like brand me and help? Can I go in and say, hey, dude, like I want, like consistently across all this social media, can we?
Okay,
I'm a little bit like, because that's what I would use it for. That would be mine.
I'm a little bit like Whitney. I know I'm really into this stuff, but I also am like putting up a little bit of a fight because I also have this desire for that authenticity. And I'm actually really irritated when I see, whenever I see something pop up in my newsfeed. I mean, you guys know I bring this up all the time, but it irritates me when I see all the filters and all the Photoshop, and I'm just like, why can't we just be ourselves, you know? And I don't want to cave into that, so I'm fighting it so hard. But in terms of utilizing it for creativity and stuff, I love that. But I'm really trying to fight it. It's a hard battle, okay? To try to be yourself in a world where it's so easy to not. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm just thinking about how this can really, like, as a small business owner, you know, there's a lot, like, it's just a constant, like, you know, customer relations and outreach and marketing campaigns. And I'm just, I was just thinking, like, wow, I could say, like, dear AI, whatever, please create I want a customer relation email on 5 easy tricks on how to drop 2 pounds of body fat.
Boom.
And like have
it spits out.
And then versus me just having to like, you know, verbalize it. It takes a long time to create like emails or, you know, trying to research the topics. And if it can do something like that, like I'm actually just like amazed by that idea.
You know what we're doing this afternoon? We'll be because we're like, all right, let's run.
It's boot camp workout.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Totally, yes.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of great benefits. I mean, really, I just think we have to just make sure that we keep it under control and use it for the right things. You know?
Even having it spit out the content, but then it's just like, for example, with my Instagram account, my personal Instagram account, I have business accounts that I have assistants run and help me with. I will only do mine because it needs to be my authentic voice where I don't sound robotic. I mean, I do shenanigans. I speak like silly all the time.
It's a fight.
You've got to still, even if you use this, I think
says, it was a pleasure meeting you today.
You know it's not me. I'm like, yo.
I want to keep talking. We have more. We're gonna keep kind of going into this pros and cons. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let's talk a little bit more about some of the cons of the artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Welcome. We are back, and we're talking about this exciting topic of artificial intelligence and machine learning. We're going to dive a little bit more into some of the maybe negative sides of utilizing this technology. Before we dive into that, let's watch this quick video.
Deepfake concerns are now rising because researchers have produced a new sophisticated and unusual twist. The new technology allows people to create high-resolution deepfakes from a single still frame photo or even a painting. And the craziest thing is that the subject doesn't even need to look remotely like the individual from the source image in order for it to work.
This scares me, guys.
Yeah.
This is the part that scares me.
Yeah. I'm thinking of one person already that you and I have talked about in the past that have done this.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just knowing, it's not knowing like what's real and what's not.
So you mean people that out there, you see their sites and Instagram, social media, and they're using this.
Yeah, and not even necessarily trying to be someone else, but maybe even doctoring up their face, and you can't trust that it's a video, so they're moving.
See,
so that
those kind of looked robotic.
Yeah.
These images you guys are talking about, they look pretty real.
Yeah.
Really.
It's basically taking what we're talking about is someone has taken like a video of themselves.
Right.
And you know how like you can do like filters on a picture?
Yeah.
Well, you can apply filters and adjust your body dimensions on a video.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Didn't they have a situation where a kid got in trouble? Like they did something. This is like maybe 4 years ago. And accused another.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes, a cheerleader mom.
Yes,
who,
that's it.
Her daughter didn't make the cheerleading squad.
That's it.
So she made a deep fake of the popular cheerleader smoking weed.
That's it.
Wow.
And it spread like wildfire, and the girl ended up getting blown up out of it. It wasn't her.
Oh,
and
wow.
the mom ended up in prison.
Yeah.
So.
Wendy's like, I think that mom might be one of the moms that goes to my school.
Because in a sense,
right? I'm like, I know.
I knew she was up to something.
Yes, but there's also been ones. Joe Rogan had one. Someone did one of him, and it looked just like him. There was somebody who did one on Tom Cruise that looked really.
That's what I remember.
real.
Tom Cruise
I guess I didn't realize you could. I know photos just from Photoshop and stuff, but I didn't realize you could alter that much through video. Where it was wow.
Wendy showed that to me. I didn't realize that either. But it's people that we know in our industry that compete that do it, and you're just like,
I know,
and you're like, I know what you look like in person, and it's nothing like the video.
Yeah, I didn't realize videos. I knew obviously photo, but wow, crazy.
That's crazy.
So how do we counter this?
Well, we're talking about the cons.
Let's write a program, or not us, but let's leave it to the experts to write a program to identify the fakes. That's where we'll make money, because think about how many people would buy that.
Well, I think what's going to happen is if this gets to the point where our minds are going to of like just like everyone altering everything about them to make it be a perfect world.
Right.
There's going to be programs then to fact check, and
I would hope
it's going to be like AI policing.
You know what? That's a really good point, because people always worry about how fast paced we are in terms of changing things one direction, but there's always the opposing, and that kind of goes with cyber attacks. People always stress out about cyber attacks. You get these advanced machine learning programs, and you have people who are, figuring out how to cyber attack. Well, the same technology is available for countering that cyber attack, situation. So I guess there's always the good that counters the evil, right? The traditional Disney story.
There are going to be some people out of jobs, like Disney
definitely,
and all that. They've always had the ability to do this, but
it's going to challenge us to figure out how to use it to create new jobs for ourselves, right? You have to. We're gonna. This is my opinion. I believe creative people are going to thrive in this environment. People who
who can think outside the box,
problem solvers, creative thinkers, people who are willing to do the work, but maybe I'm like me. No,
no, honestly, I mean, it's true.
I agree with you 100%.
But if there are jobs that are taken, then we're gonna have to maybe they'll be
replaced with something else. Hopefully. I mean, it's a whole lot of things.
Or those jobs would then turn into like AI programmers. Like, their job is to put the data in and just perfect it. It's
or the police. We need a whole AI police department.
Yes.
Well, think about this. Okay, this is kind of a crazy idea, but Elon Musk has talked about this before, but having a bunch of little nanobots enter in our bloodstream to be able to detect things that are going wrong in our body and
that'd be nice.
Cure cancer and everything.
I'd go for that.
I'd go for that. Well, I don't know if I want to know.
And there are going to be a lot of layers to that. I mean, you have machines can't do everything. There are going to have to be some humans managing some of these programs, and I don't know. My mind goes wild when I think about what could possibly happen once we have more of these tools at our disposal.
To your point, though, everyone did freak. When internet was big, it was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
And I can't imagine working
without the tools that we have now.
Honestly, cell phones, like how the heck did we ever live? And
in the beginning,
I was like, who moved my cheese?
I said, no way. In the beginning, when they started the whole thing with emails, I said, no way am I doing this.
I like to write my letters, thank you very much.
Where's my typewriter?
I'm serious. I said, no way, I don't like this idea.
Wow.
And now it's like,
it's
really,
true. There
Linda?
is change.
Let go.
I remember when Facebook changed the way that the page looked, and I freaked out.
Oh yeah.
I was like, who moved my cheese?
You know what? They need to stop changing. I've given up.
I know.
Yeah.
We're ever evolving, and everybody wants to have their stamp on the world. Everybody wants to take what we already have and recreate a new problem to solve, because otherwise we don't find purpose in life, right?
Sometimes I wonder, though, which makes me a little concerned, is for the developers and for the people who are, creating this technology, it's kind of like a race to see who can do what first. Like, this hasn't been done, I'm going to perfect this, but they don't really think about the implications that it will have on society.
Right.
Sure. True.
I agree with that.
I mean, social media, perfect example. It's great, but whoa, there's a lot of content.
Well, and then you watch there was that documentary on Netflix that had the people who first started the big social media platforms, and they're like, I don't let my kids
the one
have
that's
it. It's like, well,
dilemma.
Yeah, social dilemma.
Well, it's all about it ends up it could end up in the hands of people who are out for the greater good of people, and it always ends up in hands of people that abuse it and use it for bad, and so we're always going to have those the yin and the yang, the good and the evil, and I like to stay on the good side, and that is also a fight, because we are plagued by our desires to move forward and advance with what we see, the FOMO idea. We see what people are doing and achieving, and we all want it, and you have to fight that.
I'm
It's hard.
excited to honestly try this.
I am too.
Legit. After
You
this,
don't
I'm gonna-
even know, you guys, seriously, you don't even know.
Writing outlines and all that sounds really nice.
I want to do something really fun. Okay, so there's a art generator that I found, and I thought it would be really fun to ask it to draw some random things.
Okay.
And I wanted to share this. I'm glad you haven't taken a look at this yet because it'll be fun to see it for the first time. You could ask it to do anything that you want it to draw. You can ask it to draw anything you want it to draw. And so I put in the craziest things I could think of. The first one I wanted it to draw was a teddy bear muscle bodybuilder. So here is what it created.
Okay, let's see.
Did you make this video, Wendy?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Well, it created the video for me, and I saved it to my phone.
Nice chest.
Yes. He's got to work on the biceps a little, maybe.
Wow.
Okay. All right. We're gonna keep.
We're critiquing.
I
don't can't help it.
Okay. There's 5 different ones I think I asked. The next one was a French bulldog riding a unicorn on a rainbow.
That sounds fun.
I don't know why I thought of that. I was looking at my dog and I was like, how about a French bulldog riding a unicorn on a rainbow?
Look how
I don't know.
sweet.
It just creates whatever based off of what it has in its repertoire.
This is exactly what I need
Isn't
for
this
my brain.
fun?
I have so much stuff in
Okay,
there.
so the next one is puppies playing with oatmeal and sprinkles.
Okay.
Why?
Was this during breakfast?
Yeah, she's like,
I was eating
oh,
and
sprinkles, puppies. Let's see what that would look like.
oh my gosh.
Please tell me they have oatmeal everywhere.
Get ready. They're playing with oatmeal and sprinkles.
That's cute.
Aw, how cute is that?
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like when I would take a joint, and my brain would go wild, and I would get the munchies. So now I can do this.
Yes.
Without getting having the munchies.
Okay, we have one more, and then we're going to discuss. Okay, last one. Then I want to hear your thoughts on this. The last one is. Oh wait, no, we have 2 more. I'm sorry. The next one is a muscular cat playing the piano inside of a spaceship.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Let's get it.
I don't know where the muscle went, but maybe it's in there.
It's under his fur.
Okay.
I see a little muscle.
Playing the piano inside of a
He needs to get in
spaceship.
prep mode.
Well, he definitely has a puffy face.
Okay, last but not least, a female with muscles ruling the world.
Oh yeah. Is this a picture of you?
You know what? It might be.
It might be. Let's see.
I think it's a combination of.
Oh,
It's like Alina mixed with Linda.
Yes, I think it's a
Linda Murray.
Yeah. Wow.
my
Look
goodness.
at these. Wow. It is. It's a mix of Alina and Linda.
Yes.
So I would think, I recognize
That's
some
me,
of these
Camille.
faces.
Do you?
Yeah, so probably it goes out and it gets female bodybuilders and kind of like.
Wow.
Was that a mix of your face, maybe?
I
the
think
first
so.
one
It had a
I
little bit of
Wow.
notes.
That's
So
cool.
you know that app that everyone's been doing on Instagram
Yes.
where and I think you did one on yourself.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
one, but somebody had said, they're like, after I did it for my daughter, myself, and my husband, they were like, don't do it because it's AI that's like storing your data and your information.
Yeah.
Have you heard that? Or
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately,
done it.
we've already done so many things
Yeah.
that
It's
All
late,
over the
honey.
internet
always-
anyway.
I think that ship
Not
has
in
already
that way.
sailed.
Yes.
But you are onto something that the more information you give it, because as you can see, it's not just artificial intelligence, there's the machine learning component. The more that our machines learn about us, the more they can do with our information, the more they can manipulate us. We've already noticed manipulation on ads. If you look on the side ads on Facebook or if you're on the internet, this is machine learning. They're learning your behavior patterns. They're learning what you're doing.
You mentioned the word mattress, and all of a sudden in your
ChatGPT is going to be all over our stuff now.
Yeah, I know.
Because we've been talking about
we won't
it.
have to ask Wendy, what was that app again?
Yeah,
Right.
they'll be like, at
I
lunch.
got you. I got
we
you.
get an email.
This is gonna take FemFlex Friday to the whole
next level.
Yeah. So we are on top of it.
Yes.
This just came out. We're going to be on it for you guys. We'll share more with you as we continue to explore.
Big robots.
And so we're going to go back. We're going to have some fun with this. And until next time, you guys don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. We know all your friends want to see this too. And until next time, see you later. Bye.